Temi's parents had always been strict, just like most Nigerian immigrant parents in London. Her father, Dele, was a firm believer in discipline, education, and avoiding unnecessary distractions. Her mother, Bisi Ade, had been raised in a conservative Nigerian home and carried those values into their household. Their two older children had gone to university and now had jobs, but Temi was different. At 16, she had always been a bright and obedient child, but lately she had changed. It started small, rolling her eyes at their rules, staying in her room for hours, whispering on the phone. Then her wardrobe changed. She started wearing tighter dresses, expensive sneakers, and carrying handbags that her parents knew they didn't buy. One evening, her mother finally confronted her. "Where did you get that handbag, Timmy?" she asked, her voice calm but firm. "Bella gave it to me," Temi replied, nonchalantly tossing the designer bag onto the couch. "Bella?" Dele, who had been reading the newspaper, put it down and gave his daughter a sharp look. "Since when do friends buy each other gifts this expensive?" "Her family is rich, Dad," Temi sighed. "They don't think about money like we do." Her mother frowned. "Just because someone has money doesn't mean they have sense. You hardly know this girl." Temi rolled her eyes. "Mommy, you don't understand. Bella is the only one in school who doesn't treat me like I'm boring." That was the first real warning sign. Temi, who had always been proud of her Nigerian roots, suddenly wanted to fit in with a world that didn't care about her culture. And Bella was leading her straight into it. It was a Friday evening when Temi asked for permission to sleep over at Bella's house. "I don't like the idea of you sleeping out," her mother said. "Mommy, it's just a small girls' night. No boys, no alcohol. I promise." Her mother hesitated, but Temi's pleading eyes softened her heart. "Okay," she said, "but be home by 10 p.m. No later. No excuses." "Yes, ma," Temi said quickly, grabbing her overnight bag before her mother could change her mind. The couple didn't hear from their daughter for the rest of the night. By 10 p.m., her mother's concern turned into panic when Temi's phone rang unanswered. By 11 p.m., her husband was pacing the living room, his hands clenched into fists. "Call Bella," he ordered. "I don't have her mother's number." "Then get it," he howled. Bisi frantically called Temi's other friends, but no one had seen her. Some said she had left the sleepover early. Others claimed she went to another party. But the answers weren't adding up. At 2 a.m., unable to take the silence any longer, they drove straight to Bella's house. Bella answered the door, her face groggy with sleep. "Oh, hey, Mrs. A. What's up?" "Where is Temi?" her mother demanded. Bella frowned. "She left hours ago. Maybe she met a boy or went to another party." The words cut through Bissy like a blade. Her daughter was missing, and Bella was clearly lying. By dawn, it was clear that something was terribly wrong. Temi had never done this before. She wasn't the type to run away or ignore her parents' calls. This was different. This was dangerous. At 5 a.m., a message arrived on Dele's phone. "If you ever want to see your daughter again, don't involve the police. £10,000. You have 48 hours." The phone slipped from his hand. No, no, this can't be happening, Bissy whispered, tears welling in her eyes. Dele, a man known for his calm demeanor, felt a rage he had never known. "They've taken my daughter." They rushed to the police station, but the officers weren't as alarmed as they were. "It could be a runaway situation," one officer suggested lazily. "Most teenagers come back after a day or two." "This is not a runaway situation." Dele banged his fist on the table. "She was kidnapped." But the police were slow, too slow. By the time their days left the station, the reality hit them hard. If they wanted Temi back, they had to take matters into their own hands. The first thing Dele did was call an old friend, Uncle Kola, a Nigerian man who had been in London for years and had connections in places the police didn't. "We don't call police for this kind of thing," Uncle Kola said darkly. "We handle it our own way." Dele didn't care about the details. He just wanted his daughter back. Meanwhile, BC went back to Bella's house, this time more determined. "You lied to me," she said the moment Bella opened the door. "Tell me the truth. Now." Bella's confident attitude cracked. I I didn't mean for it to go this far," she stammered. Bissy's heart pounded. "Go this far? Bella, what did you do?" Bella swallowed. "I introduced her to some guys. They were supposed to just take her out, have fun, but she got scared. She tried to leave, and they didn't like that." Bissy's breath caught under her throat. "Who are these men?" Bella's face turned pale. "Dangerous people. If you don't pay, Timmy won't be coming back." At exactly 6 p.m., another message arrived. "Time's up soon. Pay or forget her." Dele didn't hesitate. "We're not paying them a single pound. We're taking our daughter back." Uncle Cola's sources had tracked down a location, an abandoned warehouse in South London, where criminals did their business. No police, no negotiations. Just a father, a mother, and a group of Nigerian men ready to bring their daughter home at whatever cost. Dele sat in the dimly lit room, his jaw clenched as he stared at the ransom message on his phone. £10,000? That was what these criminals thought his daughter was worth? "We're not paying," he said through gritted teeth. Uncle Colin nodded. "If you pay, they'll see you as weak. They'll take the money and still hurt Temi. No, we have to go there ourselves." Bissy was trembling, tears spilling down her face. "But they have guns. What if they kill her before we even get there?" Kola shook his head. "These people don't kill quickly. They make money from girls like Temi. That means she's still alive." The words sent a chill down Bissy's spine. "I want my daughter back," Dele said, his voice deadly calm. "Tell me what we need to do." Uncle Kola pulled out a map, pointing at a warehouse near Peckham. "My guys say they keep girls there before moving them out of the city. If we don't act tonight, Temi might be gone forever." Dele nodded. "We go in at midnight." It was settled. No more waiting. No more hoping the police would help. They were going to war for their daughter. The warehouse was hidden behind a row of abandoned buildings. The type of place no one would suspect was crawling with criminals. But the closer they got, the darker the night seemed. Uncle Kola and three other men moved ahead, blending into the shadows. Dele followed, his heart pounding. "I see two men outside," one of them whispered. "Armed." Kola nodded. "We take them out quietly. No noise." The first man barely saw it coming. Kola moved fast, grabbing him from behind and knocking him out in seconds. The second man turned, but before he could pull his gun, one of Kola's men smashed him in the face with the butt of a pistol. "Move," Kola whispered. They slipped inside the warehouse. The sight that met them sent rage through their veins. There were three girls locked in a metal cage. Temi was one of them. Her face was bruised, her eyes swollen from crying. "Daddy," she whimpered. A loud click echoed through the air. A gun had just been cocked. "I wouldn't do that if I were you," a deep voice said. They had been spotted. Dele turned slowly, his heart pounding. Three men stood behind them, all armed. The leader, A tall, scarred man with a gold chain smirked. You really thought you could just walk in and take her? Kola didn't hesitate. He lunged forward, striking the nearest thug so hard his gun flew out of his hand. Chaos erupted. Dele charged, throwing a punch at the leader, his knuckles connecting with the man's jaw. The other criminals scrambled, trying to grab their weapons, but Kola's men were faster. Gunshots rang out. One of Kola's men was hit, collapsing with a groan, but they had no time to stop. Dele grabbed the pipe from the floor and swung it at another thug, knocking him unconscious. The leader stumbled back, blood dripping from his nose. You think you've won? You have no idea who you're messing with. He reached for his gun. A shot rang out. The leader gasped, looking down at the hole in his chest. One of Kola's men had fired. He fell to the ground. Silence. Then, Kola rushed to the cage, breaking the lock. Temi, we need to go. She was too weak to stand, so her father scooped her into his arms. They ran. Sirens wailed in the distance. Someone had called the police. Move! Move! Kola shouted. They raced through the dark streets, Temi clinging to her father's chest. The remaining thugs scrambled to escape, vanishing into the night. As they reached the getaway car, Dele gently placed Temi inside. Her lips trembled. Daddy, I thought I was going to die. Tears slipped down his face as he kissed her forehead. Not on my watch. The car sped off, disappeared into the London streets. Temi was safe, but the nightmare wasn't over. Temi spent 2 days in the hospital, recovering from dehydration and exhaustion. When she finally woke up, her mother was beside her, holding her hand. Mommy, I'm sorry, Temi whispered. Tears rolled down Bissie's cheeks. We should have done more to protect you. Dele, who had always been strong, sat beside his daughter and took her hand. No more secrets, Temi. No more friends like Bella. Do you understand? Temi nodded weakly. I do. The police investigated the kidnapping, but most of the criminals had disappeared. Bella, realizing she had been used, broke down in tears when the police questioned her. I didn't know they were that dangerous. She sobbed, but her regrets came too late. Temi's life had almost been destroyed, and all because of one bad friend. Dear listener, this is what parents fear the most: a child led astray by a bad friend, caught in something darker than they ever imagined. Nigerian parents in London must stay vigilant. The Western world offers freedom, but freedom can also lead to bondage, and not all freedom is safe. Teach your children to recognize danger, no matter how luxurious it looks, because one bad friend can destroy everything. The end. Or is it?